Hey guys, it's me, the Afro, and I'm doing a bit of an updated review on Going Under for the Nintendo Switch. I got it back on September, I think it was like September 24th I got it. So I've had it for like around about half a month, 3/4 of a month, so I thought it would be a good time to kind of give you a bit of a deeper review rather than just a first impressions review. In my original first impressions, I kind of thought of this as relatively similar to Dead Cells. I can kind of confirm that a bit more. It's not necessarily a bad thing, it's just a thing. Just in case you're not sure, as a side note, Dead Cells is like a sort of dungeon crawler-esque sort of game, procedurally generated, where you go through certain levels that have certain bosses and certain enemies. Once you defeat a boss, you go to a new area, and then that new area usually has tougher bosses. With Going Under, you don't necessarily have a work your way up to better weapons path. You pretty much pick up whatever's in the level, which is kind of cool. Generally, you go through all of the levels looking for different skills to try and boost yourself up, making sure that you get your health back by buying little health ups in the shops if you can afford them, and generally just being a menace. As much as it follows a lot of conventions for what sort of game it is, I wouldn't necessarily say that it's exactly the same as everything else. Because of the fact that you're picking up weapons, the environment feels a lot more alive. You're able to pick up lots and lots of different things. The only thing I haven't really been able to pick up is a table. That would be pretty cool, but at the same time, I doubt that I'd actually be able to pick up a table and do much with it when a ladder is already a bit of a difficult situation. Now, in my first impressions, I mentioned that you can throw objects, but that there's no real lock-on and that makes it a bit difficult. I was wrong, in multiple different ways. Lock-on is available as a skill called She Don't Miss, so that you can throw items and they'll always hit people. But also, once you spend a bit of time with the game and actually get used to the lock-on and the camera and actually controlling Jacqueline, you're really able to throw anything in any direction that you need to, and 8 times out of 10 you're going to be able to hit. Of course, the game also achieves replayability by being insanely difficult. Okay, maybe not really difficult, but it is a hard game. It follows that whole easy to learn, hard to master approach to battle and gameplay. Of course, you can turn assists on to make it easier, but then it kind of ruins a little bit of the fun of it, to be honest. That, and also, if the game was a bit easier, I kind of feel like I just breezed through it really quickly, and that wouldn't be that fun for a game like this. The relatively difficult battle gameplay and the kind of unforgiving battles at times, along with what can sometimes feel like relatively short levels, means that this game isn't necessarily suited well for playing for a long amount of time. Granted, I could play this for maybe an hour or two, but if I went any longer than that, I'd kind of feel like I'm just playing the same bit over and over again, and I'd kind of just get a bit bored. As much as, at the moment from what I've played, there are 3 dungeons, and all 3 of those have different objects, different little mini bits and pieces to do, and you also have the tasks that you're given from the side characters in the game. You're still going through fighting the same sort of enemies when you go through those same dungeons, and you're picking up the same sort of items, so it can start to feel a little bit stale. Of course, the presentation of the game helps a lot. The music's brilliant, and graphically I think it's really good. So, would I recommend this game? Well, the short answer is yes with a but, and the long answer is maybe with an it depends. I paid $15.99 for it, which puts it in the similar sort of bracket as things like Dead Cells, Stardew Valley, and Untitled Goose Game. If you want a game that feels rewarding with its difficulty, then I would absolutely say that this would be up there with Dead Cells as a really good game for that sort of purpose. Much like Dead Cells, I don't necessarily think it benefits from a huge amount of playtime. It's something that's good to jump into and then jump out of. Maybe a good half an hour would be your average session with this game. Of course, the only downside is that it doesn't feel like there's as much variation as I'd want. Yeah, picking different mentors at the start and picking different skills does vary the gameplay a bit, especially when you're going through in certain runs. But the environments still kind of feel the same, and when you start to see some of the same enemies, it can get feeling a little bit dull. Usually that sort of feeling can be solved by just leaving the game alone for a week or so. To give you an idea, I stopped playing the game for a week and a bit and then went back to it just because I charged up my other Switch that I use for portable gameplay and jumped right back into it and absolutely was engrossed in it. If you don't necessarily like difficult games but like this sort of art style, I would definitely say that something like Untitled Goose Game would be a good alternative. That gives you a bit more to do in terms of exploration, especially with the tasks that you're meant to do, as well as some stuff that you could just do to have fun. That's a bit more of a toy game in my opinion, but that's what makes it really good. If you like this video, make sure to let me know by leaving a like and commenting. If you want to see some more gameplay of this game just edited in our standard sort of format, then leave us a comment as well, and I'm usually relatively reactive at getting stuff done. The only reason I won't do a video really quickly is either if I need to get my skills up or if I'm just bad at the topic, but then I'll usually let you know. And of course, if you want to keep up with any videos that we upload, make sure that you subscribe and hit the bell so then you get notifications whenever we release something new. We usually have new videos uploaded every Monday and every Thursday. But other than that, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and make sure that you stay safe.